So this is our Totter and Tumble Playmat. Let me tell you all about it. So we've had this mat for about 4 months or so now. I will pop the price we paid, the size we got, and the name of this one with the orange on the front and the grey on the back on the screen for you in case you want to know more. So this one I was 50-50 about buying because it's just so expensive. I didn't know if it was going to be worth it or not. And I've not heard of Totter and Tumble before, but equally I've not heard of many baby brands before because, you know, I've never had to shop them before. So this mat in particular, the reason I wanted it is because it's quite a thick mat and because it's one continuous mat rather than having segments of it. Our carpet, I don't know what's under it because we've recently moved in, and it sounds like, it just feels like there's not much cushioning underneath there. So if one were to take a tumble, which one does, then it's not going to be overly fun to be on the floor. So we got this one. So far, I have not been disappointed, and it has been worth the money because it doesn't look any different from the day we bought it, which is amazing. We have a dog, which we have tried to, he's over there. We have tried to keep him off it as much as we can. So at night time when baby is asleep, we tend to pull it over and just leave it kind of to the side so that he can use the rest of the living room and walk around and not get his paws on it. But now that we've had it down for so long, we just don't have the energy every night to pull it up or just to police him all of the time. So when we remember, we move it out of the way. The blurb on the website said that it can handle paws, but ideally not to let them on it if you can. He's been on it a few times and you just can't see any difference, which is amazing. I would still be hesitant about him being on it. I do feel like if he had really sharp claws, he probably could do a little bit of damage, but luckily his claws are not that sharp anymore because he's not a puppy. It also says not to hoover it because the bits on the hoover can damage it, so we haven't hoovered it. We have had to use like baby wipes and stuff to mop up spills and muslins, etc. And the spills, anything disgusting, has managed to come out of it. We haven't had too many, only like 2, so that's quite lucky. We, instead of hoovering it, will brush things to the side or shake it to the side and then just hoover up the floor. So that's worked quite well. But what's really nice is that it doesn't actually pick up the little bits. You don't get dog hairs, despite the fact that they're everywhere. We don't get dog hairs stuck on this, which is really nice, so that when she does play on it, she's not going to get a mouthful of dog hair, which is always, always handy. Now, what I would say, which isn't a downside, but this is just me being honest, is that everything I've seen on the website and from other people's reviews is that they say, it looks like a rug for your home. This is a rug I'd buy for my house, and it's not. It might be that you would buy it for your house, and it might be that you'd buy a rug that looks like this for your house, but this does not look like a rug. No one's gonna walk in and think, that's a nice rug. They're gonna walk in and think, that's a nice playmat. It doesn't look like it's made of a cloth. It looks like it's a plasticky type material, and that's not a bad thing, because it's a playmat. It's meant to be a playmat. You're not going to be able to make a playmat be woven unless you want a woven playmat. But this one, you know, it's a nice looking one. It's got the nice grey on one side, and we've chosen the colourful orange on the other side so that we could flip it over if we want more colourful bits. But that's the only thing I would say. Like, if you think you're going to put it down and suddenly it's going to become this magical rug that no one's ever going to know is a playmat, that's not going to happen. It also does get dents on occasion. Like if you lean on it on your side for quite a while, you will get a little elbow dent. They've all come out perfectly well. Nothing's ever stayed there, but I wouldn't put anything on it full time. Like I wouldn't rest the footstool on it, for example, which you wouldn't do anyway because it's a playmat, but that is just one thing. Like you need the space for it rather than to put something on it. I mean, if you were always going to have like a table leg on it or something like that, I suppose it doesn't really matter, but when you're paying this much for it, maybe you don't want to dent it. I'm not sure. We were also hoping that we could roll it away over night time, which I guess you could do, but it's quite big and it's quite bulky. Like it would fold down smaller than this, but it's not something that you can hide away quite easily. So we've given up on that and we've left it out on the side for all of the time. I really would recommend this one because it's so thick that if your little one was to take a tumble on it, they're not really going to hurt themselves, and we have tested that theory many times. So it's really nice for that, and it wipes clean. Thank goodness it doesn't pick up all the dog hair, things like that. So I do actually think this is worth the price, and I actually think it's going to last a really long time. As long as we look after it, I think it will last. So yeah, very happy with this one and no regrets.